The ambulance was on its way back from a call when the events unfolded. The weather that day was far from ideal. Thick clouds hung low in the sky, and heavy rain had made the roads slick and dangerous. There had already been a long string of emergency calls, keeping the crew busy throughout the morning. Suddenly, the driver slowed the vehicle. In the middle of the road sat a large, striking wolf. She wasn't startled by the sound of the engine or the flashing lights, almost as if she had been waiting for them. The driver honked the horn, but the wolf didn't budge. The emergency crew had seen many strange things over the years, but nothing quite like this. A nurse cautiously stepped out of the ambulance to try to scare the animal away. Slowly, the wolf stood up and moved to the side of the road, but instead of vanishing into the wilderness, she lingered nearby. As soon as the nurse returned to the ambulance, the wolf walked right back to her original spot. Puzzled, the nurse decided to approach again. This time, the wolf did not run, nor did she allow the nurse to get too close. Instead, she turned and began walking toward a patch of bushes nearby, pausing every few steps to look back, as though urging someone to follow. Just then, the nurse stopped in her tracks and called urgently to his colleagues. When the rest of the team arrived, they saw what had drawn the wolf's attention: an elderly man lying unconscious near the bushes. It was clear he had collapsed some time ago and was in critical condition. Without hesitation, the team sprang into action, stabilizing him before quickly loading him into the ambulance. As they sped off, the wolf followed the vehicle the entire way, running tirelessly through the rain, never losing sight of the ambulance. The medical staff were deeply moved by the wolf's loyalty. Once at the hospital, they made sure she was fed and kept safe while her human received urgent care. Days later, when the man was moved from intensive care to a regular ward, the doctors agreed, after much persuasion, to allow the wolf to visit him. The reunion was emotional. She whimpered softly, licking his hands, while the man wept openly and stroked the fur of his faithful companion. Even the hardened medical staff couldn't hold back their tears. From that moment on, the man began to recover more quickly. He would often gaze out the window, speak to the wolf, and do everything in his power to regain his strength so he could go outside and be with her again. Her unwavering presence amazed everyone. Doctors later diagnosed the man with having suffered a stroke. It turned out he had collapsed while out walking with his wolf, a bond stronger than most could comprehend. If it hadn't been for her intelligence and determination in stopping the ambulance, he might never have been found in time. For days, the wolf remained near the hospital walls, refusing to leave. The man's wife tried to take her home, but the wolf resisted, growling, struggling, and slipping away whenever possible. Eventually, their son managed to coax her into the car and take her home. But just a few hours later, she returned to the hospital, standing vigil once more, watching, waiting, and hoping for her human to walk out those doors again.